I only want my team drive to access shared drive from the computer in my office. Should I create an email for every computer, or can I use the same email for all the computers, knowing that all my team work on the same folder? So this is an interesting question, and it raises a few interesting security topics, and there are some features in Google Workspace which will actually make what this person wants to do reasonably easy. Now, if you're worried about people accessing their Google data, your business data, from outside your business, there's a few things you can immediately switch on in the admin panel, and I'll show you those in a couple of moments. But I first want to talk about what this person has suggested in what they've asked in their question here. Should I create an email address for every computer in the office? Typically, what people mean when they say that is that they want to create a device level username, and they tend to share those usernames with multiple people. We see that often in like a doctor's office or a dentist's office, where the person who's working on the front desk shares that job with a few other people, and 3 people are logging into the same computer, 3 people are logging into reception@yourbusiness.com and sharing that login, which is a big no-no for any business. Sharing passwords like that mean they're less likely to be updated from time to time. You're less likely to switch on 2-factor authentication, because whose phone are you going to put it on if 3 people need to access it? And it leaves a pretty big security hole for that business. Sometimes people even write it down on a piece of paper or save it in a file on the computer or something like that to access it. And that is definitely not a good idea. Now, a recommendation in all cases where you have one device and you maybe have multiple people that need to access it is that everyone has their own individual login. And if you want to share one mailbox between multiple people, that's pretty easy to do in Workspace using a feature called Delegated Mail. Now, it's not very known by most business owners or people who've worked with Google Workspace, but it is a killer feature for sharing one central mailbox with multiple people without them having to know the password for that mailbox. Check out plenty of other videos on our channel about delegated mail. I don't have time to cover that in this video. But if you want to restrict who can access certain files or folders from where, well, the smartest thing to do with that is to start getting into your device settings in your Workspace admin panel. Let's jump in and have a look how we might be able to do that. Now, I will admit, it's been a while since I set these up, and some of these settings may have changed. But what I do know is fundamentally you can set an approval process on devices for where and how they access information to be only based on your approval. Now, the simplest way to achieve what this person is looking to achieve is to say that only devices that I approve can access my Google account. And therefore, when someone's at home and they're using a home device, I'm just not going to approve that device for use. You probably, in this case, want to set things up so that you can have someone access data from their phone, right? That makes sense. It's pretty obvious for most people. But if you want to be super stringent about that, there's options to lock that down as well. Now, the advanced way to do this is using a tool called context-aware access. And you can do something like lock down access to your Google Workspace account based on the IP address that someone is accessing it from. So you might say, well, I want people to only be able to access resources when they're in the office, and therefore let's lock down context-aware access to be only available in the office. Now, can you lock that down to shared drives only accessible from the office, but my drive accessible from home? Oh, gee, I don't know about that one. Let's check the help guide real quickly and see if that's an option, because that one I'm not 100% sure. Restrict access to apps. I wonder if we can restrict access to certain apps, because I've got a feeling even if you can, you're only going to be able to restrict things like, the Google Drive desktop app or the mobile app. Highly unlikely you're going to be able to restrict access to just shared drives, but allow people to access their My Drive. So that part of it, probably not possible. Important thing to know for context-aware access is you've got to be on an enterprise plan to get access to that. So if you're not on an enterprise plan, if you're just a small business, you're going to have to upgrade your licenses to get access to that. If you want a good deal on your licenses, or you're considering upgrading and you want to demo or to explore what value you can get out of licenses on a higher SKU, higher tier of Workspace, click the link below, book in a free consultation with our team, and we'll be very happy to help, walk you through how to get more value out of Workspace and maybe do a bit of an audit on your account, see how it's set up, see if there's any ways that you can improve things. And if you want to implement that, great. If you want us to help implement that, also great. Okay, but the other way of doing this is a simpler way. There's actually device approvals that you can set up in your Workspace account where you can manually approve devices as they're requested to be added. And this is available for Workspace accounts on business accounts. So we can see here, we've got a whole bunch of devices that are connected to people's accounts. Many of these, in fact, say pending approval. Let's go into our settings. I haven't set this up for some time. Okay, I think this is my approval list, but I want to find my approval settings. What's in universal settings here? Okay, cool. So if I want to set my settings so that devices can only connect to my business after I've approved the account, it's pretty straightforward. We go into our admin panel, into devices, mobile and endpoints, settings, and then universal settings. And in the security menu here, we can switch on device approvals. Now, when I switch on device approvals, each device will require an admin approval, meaning that if a new device signs in with a username and password, it will be kind of caught in limbo before it's approved to access information from your company. Now, this is probably a good time for me to demo it. I've got all of my devices sitting here, right? These are the ones that have been approved. But let's say, for example, I want to add a new device. When I go and add a new device, it's going to show up in the device approvals menu. When I open that up, I can review the individual device. Oh, that's interesting. Actually says it's non-compliant. So some of my settings have basically stopped this device from connecting at all. Maybe I can find one that was registered previously or recently, sorry. Okay, so we've got a device here. Oh, again, non-compliant. I don't know why it's non-compliant. I didn't set these settings, my team did. View details. All right, let's have a look. Oh, it needs to be activated by, oh, that's all. Okay, cool. So, all right. So where's the button to activate it? Approved device. Okay, wow. Thanks for hiding the button, Google. Okay. So we approve the device, and then once we've approved the device, then it can start synchronizing data. Gee, they make it hard sometimes when they hide things, right? Okay, cool. So device approvals, and then that new device will appear. I don't know if it's going to synchronize immediately because that was someone else's device, but it'll appear and it will show up. You can see here there's another someone's Mac. From here I can approve the device and then it'll automatically switch to approved. Okay, approved. Great. All right. So the approval's done. They're a bit slow to update some of the menus in the admin panel. There we go. Okay, so Mary's Mac has been approved there after waiting 235 days to be approved. All right, there's a lot of junk in this test account. So there you go. There's all your options for locking down particular devices. Unfortunately, we can't do exactly what this person asked for, which was to restrict just shared drives from home. But if you want to lock down certain devices to just your office, you can do that via an IP address. Or if you just want to have a whitelist of devices and approve them one by one, you can also easily do that as well on any plan. The context-aware access, which lets you lock down to certain locations, certain countries, well, that is on an enterprise plan. And if you're interested in that, be sure to get in touch. If you need more help with what we've covered in this video, itGenius provides support services to businesses all over the world with problems just like this. Click the link below to get started.